The rot consumes us each passing day. Anyway, college isn't fun. It's really not. Well, to be fair, I'm going to community college right now. I'm not going to like actual university, which I'm sure is a much different animal than your local community college that's 40 minutes away from your house. 40 or 30, I don't know. I don't like living in the country. I don't like that I had to move out here. I don't belong here. I belong in the city. But since my stupid parents had to get divorced, I have to live with my grandparents here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, which is fine. Something got in my eye. I'm still reading, which is fine. I'm depressed, not fine. Not very fun at all, no. I'm still in Mississippi. Yay! My teeth aren't brushed. I haven't brushed my teeth today. But I realized when I was stalking myself today that I hadn't posted here in half a year, so it's already the new year. Oh my gosh, happy 2026. Rubbing Alcohol Nation. I'm so broke. I'm like depressingly broke. Yeah. Because I spend my money on things that I don't need, like mountains of DVDs and CDs and books, which technically I could because I'm still living with my grandparents. So they pay for my bills and stuff, but it's like, you know, I technically should be saving money because 18 now. I should be ready to kind of start leaving. Gonna be in the dorms next semester. I'm gonna like start foaming at the mouth, seizing all of that. And I have to provide for my cat because, you know, like they're not gonna pay for her, which is fine. I can afford to pay for her, kind of. She's a very low maintenance animal. She already has like one toy that she likes to play with, and then I like only have to feed her again. Like I only have one, so like 2 scoops a day. That's like I have to buy like a bag of food and a bag of litter like once a month, twice a month. This is just like, I guess, to let you know where I've been, kind of, because I feel like my 21 subscribers really deserve to know, you know. Like rocking back and forth. Sorry, I just got a notification from my professor on Canvas. My grades are fine. They're decent. They always were going to be. But I can't help but think of better for myself. Because the only reason why I decided to go to community college was because they offer classes for early graduates, and I wanted to go ahead and get my education done early because I'm impatient and I always have been, which is weird considering I read so much. So it's kind of like, what's going on there, you know? Not that you will know, because I don't want you to know. I don't even want to know, honestly. Like, I feel like I would be much happier with myself if I didn't know myself, if that makes sense. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about some books that I've read. So I did read Catcher in the Rye this year, or last year, technically, 2025. I didn't really know how to feel about it because it was like, reading a lot of reviews of it before getting it, there was like two ways that people felt about the main character. One, Holden Caulfield's a spoiled brat. Two, Holden Caulfield is a misunderstood teenager. And it's like, I feel like both things can be true at once, you know what I mean? Did I find him annoying? Yeah, but to be honest, I find most 17-year-old boys annoying. Did I think he was misunderstood? Yeah, I feel like he definitely needed um, like a listening, caring ear, because there were like many allusions to him being sexually assaulted in this book. So it's just kind of like, Holden, you know, like reach out to someone, talk to someone, you know. I feel like this is just what happens when a teenage boy goes unchecked, which happens often. So it's just kind of like, I read this book and I read like my guy friends, my past boyfriends, things like that, and it depressed me and it made me angry because it was just like, because I guess it just like reminded me of them and like their and a refusal to get help, which is so common, you know, because like being a teenage boy, and this is what I understand about being a teenage boy. I have never been a teenage boy, you know, I never will be. But it's like, from what I understand, being a teenage boy, you grow up with your father, with any sort of like male figure in your life, whether that be an actual physical male figure or like a fictional one, and because of them, you get like this sense of masculinity and the lessons that they taught you and the lessons that the internet taught you about what it means to be a man. So now it's like, when you're at that age where you are kind of a man but you're still a child, like you start to feel this sort of shall I say, like cartoonish view of masculinity that you try to copy instead of forming into your own person and being your own person and form of a man, and not even just a man, like an adult. Because as someone who, as I said before, like I'm 18 now, I'm going into college, I feel like someone who is putting on a mask and pretending to be an adult instead of like actually going out, instead of like, I don't know, just like letting myself naturally flow into that role. And I believe that that's what Holden is doing, because in the book he puts himself in a lot of adult situations, and he doesn't know what to do with them, he doesn't know how to react to them, and he shouldn't even be in them because, again, he's 17 years old. So yeah. I also got this. I read this. This is a graphic novel. You know, I am not okay with this. You know, they made that Netflix show based off of it. I loved the Netflix show when it came out in like 2019. Like I was 12 years old, and I believe that Cindy Novak, like the character in the TV show, like really formed who I am as a person today, because I adored her so much. So when I rewatched the show, like I rewatched it with my mom, and it was around my birthday, and she ended up getting this for me for my birthday. So I read it, and it was so disappointing. Like, it was really disappointing in comparison to like what the show was, because it's like, there's no way this was the source material. This is garbage. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, this is like my things have gotten worse since we last spoke in video. Like, I genuinely hate this book. This is bad. Like, this is really bad. Like, this is the definition of men who don't know how to write women. Like, when I saw that this book was written by a man, I was iffy on it at first. But I trusted it because I read Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I loved that book. You know, I loved everything that book had, and its themes, its representations, etc. So I trusted it. This was trash. This was really bad. Like, this man does not know how to write teenage girls. This man does not understand teenage girls' struggles. This feels like almost fetishized, if that makes sense. Like, a fetishization of the teenage girl experience, because it is heavily, because that is something that is like so often represented in a lot of like in a lot of media. And I think that like with the whole like girlhood trend going on right now, you know, like this is girlhood, this is what it means to be a girl, to be growing up and be a girl, hell is a teenage girl. It's like being a teenage girl is not this fabulous. And we need to like, instead of romanticizing not the not fabulous, like the ugly parts of it, we just need to like take it at face value. And that's kind of like what Perks did. Instead, this is a romanticized, gross depiction of what it is to be a queer teenage girl, because I am one of those. And this was bad. This was really bad. I'm not even like, I don't even know how else to describe it. Like this was just trash. Like I despise this book. But, you know, don't read it. Just watch the show. And I understand, like, the show is never gonna get season 2. It ended on a cliffhanger, but it's fun while it happens, you know? Bad. Also bad. I got this set for like $4 at Walmart because it was like this like mystery, like art kind of thievery kind of book. And straight up, like, I'm being so serious, this is like Israeli propaganda or something. Like, this is bad. Free Palestine. So I got this book. I picked this book up because, as you guys know, I do have an affinity for banned books. This book is heavily challenged and banned. And it is written in the 90s, set in this time period, actually. And it's really haunting how accurate that Octavia Butler really predicted a lot of the predicaments that we're in right now. Some of it is heavily over exaggerated, you know, but it's like a lot of it is disgustingly accurate, and it's to the point where it's just like, did you make this happen? You know what I mean? But yeah, this book is about like this book is written as a diary of this girl named Lauren. And she lives with her family in California. Like, there's a lot of fires going on in California. There's a lot of like natural disasters happening due to the climate change and due to due to a lot of things that are mostly like politically caused by, like, okay, I don't know how to say this. Like, there are a lot of terrible things that are happening in this book, and a lot of the terrible things are because of political leaders in America, if that makes sense. Just like what is happening right now. So it's just kind of like her life, her trying to protect her family, what little she has left of her family, and like how the things that are going on right now has affected her life and the people in her life and her neighborhood, etc. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It, like, a lot of it was like, it's really heavy. Like, I did have to take a break at some point, like during the novel, because it was just like really heavily depressing me. There is a sequel to this book. I just have not read it yet. I do plan on picking it up at one point though. The color purple, I got this at an antique store in my town for like $1, you know, like, and I know this is a classic, so, you know, I dropped it. So obviously I picked it up like immediately. Like, it was really interesting. It's just about like it's about this woman named Celie, her life, like, from a young woman all the way up to like an elder, and all the way up to an elder in her community. It's about like the people in her life, her husband, her husband's family, like the children that she has bared, and the way that they grow up in the current society of like being black, and the in the time area that it was, because I think this was set in like the 1940s, 1950s, you know. So yeah, it's just like one of those like classic books that I think that you have to read if you want to like start delving into like other perspectives, you know, like as a white person, you know, because like I really love books like this, books that like talk about other perspectives, people's experiences that I will never be able to experience, and that I'll never be able to really fully understand the nuances of it. I think that it's really important to be able to have access to that and to be able to read that, because it does, like, studies have shown that that literally makes you a more empathetic person. And it's not like I really do it in the end goal of being empathetic, but it's just kind of like, I just want to know what people are going through, if that makes sense. Like, if someone talks to me about like about their anxiety or about their depression, like I'm gonna be able to understand it like to some extent. But if their depression and their anxiety was caused by something that they've experienced, like as a trans person, as a person of color, no matter the race, like that's something that I'm never really fully gonna be able to understand the nuance of. And I think that it's really important to be able to listen to those stories and just kind of like understand where they are coming from in it. And yeah. What else have I read this year? I read like 42 books this year, you know? Like, that's not really the most. Well, I guess it is kind of. Well, I'm not gonna say like impressive, because I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm so impressive. Like, I read so many books this year. Because, like, I'm not. Because I don't like to give myself credit, if that makes sense. How's my posture, guys? um um hmm. I'm like, my bookcase is like really unorganized. It's like it is straight up a mess. It's really bad. um I read this, Notes on an Execution. I don't know if I've talked about it in another video, but it is basically about this serial killer on death row and the women in his life that he has affected. Like this detective that's like hot on his trail. Um, his mother. Um, oh yeah, and the twin sister to and the twin sister to the serial killer's wife. So it's really I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I just like reading things like this. It was definitely like too much at some point for some people, I'm sure. But like this one, I just really enjoyed. I just really liked it. Um yeah. I just like reading about crime and stuff. Like I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time the other day, actually. And ooh, almost fell. Could have been bad. You guys could have seen how disgusting my room is. That's bad. Anyway. So, but yeah, I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time the other day, and it was really good. Like, it was really good. I like, I want to read the book now, even though I know that it's definitely like, if that's how disturbing the movie is, I just know the book's gonna be like 10 times worse, because that's how it always is, right? um but yeah, I have a I have not been reading as much as I should have been, like, in this past month, because like this time last year I think I already finished like 2 books, which, like, I understand why people like don't want to like read books in in that short of a time span, but it's just kind of like, for me, I kind of always have been a fast reader, and that doesn't mean that I still don't appreciate the book, because obviously I do. I just talked about like 6. Just because like the book is bad doesn't mean that I don't appreciate its existence, kind of, except for those 2 books that I just mentioned. I'm Not Okay with This and Portrait of an Unknown Woman. Those books are garbage, but you know, that doesn't mean they can't lead to good things, question mark. I don't know what The Portrait of a Young Woman has led to, but I Am Not Okay with This has led to a show that has genuinely changed my life, for the better, for the worse, not really sure, but you know. My back's like really bad. Anyway, let's talk about some books that I have right now that I plan on reading. It's a lot. You guys are gonna be kind of disappointed in me. Cause like, it's like, damn bitch, why can't you just get shit from a library, you know what I mean? Wait, this is a notebook. I'm giving my friend one of my old notebooks that I don't use. But yeah. These are like all the books in my TBR right now. And I feel like one of those like annoying book talkers that's like, oh my god, guys, look at my book haul. Look at my overconsumptionist book haul that I'm never going to read because I don't read. I just like the aesthetic of reading. And it's like, I swear, I promise that I am not some pseudo-intellectual poser. I just have an issue, you know? So this is what I've been reading mostly right now. Men Who Hate Women by Laura Bates. It's about like just kind of the different types of effects, different types of like the effects of different types of misogyny has had on our world, not just women, just on everyone, of course, because misogyny does not just affect women. It affects everyone, from the way that men see themselves, from the way that men see women, the way that women see men, etc., etc. Right now, it's like a lot. Like, it's like a lot. Like, there are so many more, like, femicide, incel motivated shootings than I realized, because that's, like, first chapter. And I'm, like, only on, like, second, like, I just started the third, actually. So, like, that's how deep this is getting. And it's, like, I'm kind of excited, but I'm also just kind of, like, oh my gosh, no! Are you okay? Did you fall? Are you okay? Are you okay? You're okay? Okay. Anyway. I'm sorry. Shh. It's okay. Shh. Like, pretend you're a horse, and I am your untrained handler who doesn't know what to do with you. Shh. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. Anyway, it's like cold in here. It's like freezing. It's like snowing really bad where I am. Well, it depends on where you are, that you're probably gonna think to yourself, oh, that's not really snowing too bad. But it's kind of like, again, I live in the South. We are not made to handle any sort of snow. So it's like, this is bad. Anyway, so I'm also reading American Psycho. I did not actually want to initially get into this book. Not even the movie, honestly, because like when I watched the movie for the first time, and don't get me wrong, I was young, I thought it was trash. I was like, all he did was like kill people and have sex. I don't understand. And then I watched it when I was like older, and then I was like, oh, you know, you guys should see the way that my cat is like laying down right now, bro. This is crazy. Anyway. Again, I'm not going to show you because my room is disgusting. And that's embarrassing because I know you guys see me and you're like, oh, this woman is the, it's picture perfect of hygiene and cleanliness, even though she has not washed her hair or brushed her teeth today. Anyway, I wish I could like just grow my hair out like so long, you know, because like every time it's like this long and I go to the hairstylist and I'm like, hey, can I get like this much off? She's like, oh, you want a bob? You want a bob? Curly hair bob? Curly hair, want a bob? No. Anyway, sorry. I'm also reading this. I have been like, I started a very bad habit of starting like mini books at once and then like not finishing them or taking forever to finish them, because I have been reading American Psycho since like December. Okay, if it was me time last year, I would have already finished that. But anyway, I'm like reading Animal Farm now. It is, it's picture perfect, right? But I unfortunately kind of already know what's happening because I already watched, like, I watched the original, like, 1950s movie based off of it, and, like, got emotionally attached to some animals that I should not have been emotionally attached to. So, like, reading this book, I'm just imagining, like, the film, which is really good and, like, really accurate to the book. It's like, if you guys have read Animal Farm, I recommend you go watch that movie. You know, it's just George Orwell's Animal Farm, that released in like the 1950s, 1960s. Really good. Really, really good. Yeah, I also got The King in Yellow, which I know, like, I told my friends that I got it. And then they were like, oh my god, like the Minecraft ARG. No. Like the Wendigo vid, actually. Just to look into how niche and cool my mind is becoming. I also like this. I got this, Language of Fanaticism Cultish. I actually listened to this woman's, podcast. She, which is called Sounds Like a Cult, where she just talks about like the sociology of a bunch of different things, like from Mormonism, dance moms, looks maxing, I guess, just things like that. And I've always really, like, I love the way that society works, the way that people en masse are like convinced into doing something. So when I saw this book, like, I immediately picked it up because, like, again, like, I want to learn about how people, why people do the things that they do, why the people join these cults when it's, like, it should be obvious that it's dangerous. But I feel like it has more nuance to it than it's just, like, than just being, like, vulnerable people being preyed on in a time of need by a dangerous cult. And it's kind of like, I'm sure that happens often, but it's like, that can't be the case every single time, because that's not how things work. Anyway, and also, this is like a manga that I really like, Life Lessons with Yuramichi Onisan. I just think it's funny. It's just a comedy manga, you know. I already have like 2 volumes out. They've been coming out with volumes like crazy, honestly. But anyway, I don't really read manga as much as I used to because, like, manga's expensive, right? And also, like, I just, like, it makes me feel like I'm dumb, if that makes sense. Because, like, I know this is gonna sound weird because I literally have, like, so much manga right here. But this is mostly from, like, 8th grade, you know? Like, 7th to 9th grade. So, it's, like, so, yeah. And then I was, like, reading more manga, then I was reading, like, actual books, and I was like, this is an issue, like, I should be reading more books, and then I got back into reading actual books, and, it's just kind of, like, become, like, you know, don't say 6'7". That's a message for me, not you. You can say whatever you want. I really liked Metamorphosis, so I picked this up. Really love Donna's Heart, so I picked this up. Like, a lot of these are just authors that I'm already familiar with, you know, or it's just like books that are just like famous, like insanely famous for being good. So I'm just like, you know, like, if this is what everyone likes, like, they must like it for a reason, right? This one is different. I actually don't like Stephen King, which for like I think for reasons that I think are reasonable. Like, I I tried to read Carrie. I didn't like how detailed he got into the teenage girls in the shower. I actually, like, I do have one Stephen King book. It's The Gunslinger, which I really liked. I thought it was good. I never really got into like the Black Tower series, but I did enjoy The Gunslinger. I also tried to read it's coming to me. Oh yeah, I tried to read it and then I accidentally like skipped through it. And I mean straight up accidentally, because I was like 12 years old reading it, which you should not be doing, which you should not be 12 years old reading Stephen King. Like if I had a kid and they came home with like and they came home from the library card, which I would force them to get, and they're like 12 years old and they come home with a Stephen King book, I'm telling them to bring that shit back immediately, because what are you doing with a Stephen King book? You are not old enough to like even understand what he's talking about, right? So since I was 12 years old and it's like a 1,000-page book, I was skipping through it and I discovered the unfortunate sewer scene. You know what I'm talking about. So I was just like, so that traumatized me, on top of how the way that he described those teenage girls in the shower. On top of me discovering his like coke addiction, and I was just like, I'm not getting into all that. But this is different. Misery is different because I just adore the story so much. Like personally, I have an affinity for being as obsessive. So like I'm reading about Annie as the character, or I'm watching like character like an analysis of her, and I'm just like, God, she's literally me, you know, except for the, like, you know, the chopping off limbs part. So I found like I have a special affinity for this specific story. So I just like really hope that it's good. I just really hope that it's good. If it's not good, I'm returning this. No. Stephen King, you will not get me again. Anyway, so picked up Beloved because I read The Bluest Eye and I read Sula, both by Toni Morrison, this past summer, and I really adored both books, so I figured, you know, like, I might as well pick up another one of hers, because I'm kind of addicted. It's kind of for the same reasons that I mentioned beforehand about, like, my interest in, like, different perspectives and different time periods, etc. Virgin Suicides, you know why I picked this book up. Like, it's just, like, well, like, it's just, okay, like, I think you can already tell as well by the books that I read that I really like coming of age stories. I mean, Perks of Being a Wallflower, that's like one of my favorite books now. But like, not only did I picked it up because it was famous. I picked it up because it's like this famous book about like these unfortunate events happening to young women, and it interests me. And if this book is not worth the hype, this man is on my shit list. Anyway, I also got this. This book was actually published pretty recently. This is, sorry everyone. You want to see my cat? It's been a while. She's got a little tummy, a bit more of a tummy. She doesn't like to be picked up. That's why I don't do it for long. But, anyway, so I picked this up because it's just like 1950s wife, like, being put into, like, loses her mind. And I love books about insanity as well. People, like, I love psychological stuff. Like, Death Note, one of my favorite animes of all time. Cat's gonna knock over the phone again. Yeah. But yeah, like, I love books about insanity, people losing their minds. And that's like basically what this entire book is about, set in like a 1950s, you know, nuclear kind of way. Which isn't like the most which isn't like the most like creative thing in the entire world, like, oh, a book or a story about a 1950s housewife like losing her mind, you know. But I just hope it's good, it's not cliche, you know. Girl, bro, she straight up headbutted it. That's crazy. Like, you are being recorded on my phone on top of a stool, being leaned against micellar, yes, micellar cleansing water. I hope you're having fun with that. Anyway. And I also have grown an affinity for DVDs. I have discovered that I don't like streaming services, and I don't like not having to be able to watch my favorite movies all the time. So I started collecting DVDs, and they are very cheap. So, you know, they can fit in your purse very easily. See? Like, that's a lot. I understand that's a lot of DVDs. Like, there's more back there. Love movies. That's my cat. Yeah, I'm very proud of my bookshelf. Proud of the way that I have accumulated my interests over the years. It's my Garfield area. It's my Garfield corner. Garfield and Cat's Eye. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the US government. But yeah. Mostly just talking. I hope you guys are going alright. My foot's asleep, so that kind of hurts. Ow. That really hurts, actually. Anyway, we're approaching 40 minutes, so I should probably cut this out. Or like cut this short. Because I don't do edits. No cuts. Anyway, so I have a D&D group, and we plan on eventually, you know, like recording stuff. So I'm probably going to post it on here. You know, like, I don't think this is going to change from a book channel to like a D&D channel. It's just going to be kind of like a channel, you know. But yeah, I really miss talking in front of a camera, actually, because I just really like, I don't know, I just like it. It just feels natural to me. I don't really know what's gonna stick, I guess, but, if you've watched this far, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, probably don't turn on the notification bell, because it's gonna be a waste of your time, because I like never post. But I hope that you have a wonderful day. If you're in the US, especially the American South, good luck with the snow, because personally I've been having a lot of fun with it. So, but yeah, have fun. Good luck on your classes, all of you beautiful students. Oh my god, bro, she's gonna knock it over again. Girl, stop. She's impatient and old, but I love her. Anyway, love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.